we are going to get started. Right, so this little short session is going to be Pilates back strength. So we're going to start in a standing position, and you're going to have your feet hip distance apart. We're going to find our neutral pelvis, not hands on the hips, growing tall up to the ceiling, and really spread the toes out. So all 10 toes are going to be facing the front. And then we're going to hip hinge, okay? So really working through that core stability as we push our tailbone down to the mat behind us, keeping our spine nice and straight and coming back into that hip hinge. Now my spine is straight here. I'm not rounding my back. I'm going to squeeze my glutes and then come up to a standing position again. Okay, so we're going to start nice and small. So your inhale as you come down into that hip hinge, almost think about pushing a button with your bottom on the wall behind you, sinking the weight into your heels. And then exhaling, squeezing through your glutes to lift back up. So the body stays straight, just into that hip hinge. So inhale forwards, maybe you can come down just a little bit deeper as long as you feel comfortable with that. Exhale to come up. There should be no discomfort into your back here. Yeah, so really nice, strong position. Hinging down, tailbone pointing back, legs straight, knees unlocked. So we're not locking the knees, squeezing those glutes, coming back up. Okay, let's go for another 3. So as we come down, almost try and think about looking to the front of your mat now. I've got my hand onto my lower back, another hand onto my belly, so I can make sure that I'm not arching my back and not losing that core control there. Okay, so inhale to come down, push that button on the wall behind you, sink the weight back into the heels. Nice, straight back. Exhale, come back up. So really functional movement for our daily life here. And again, coming down, squeezing those glutes, coming back up, all the way, all the way. Now into roll down, so changing it completely into a mobile spine now, nodding through the chin, curling over, and trying to tuck your tailbone under, a little soft bend into the knees, letting the head hang. And then again, we're still thinking about how our abdominals are responding, our core's responding as we exhale, tuck, still squeeze those glutes and roll back all the way to that high point again. So we're really trying to mobilize the spine here. Grow tall, inhale to prepare, exhale, curl over. Warming through the backs of the legs that we've just worked. Exhale, scoot through the tummy, imagine you're a puppet on a string, and rolling back up, stacking every single vertebrae back up on top of each other, and that nice neutral pelvis. We're going to do one more. Exhale, round. Equal weight through the feet. Inhale and then exhale. Curling back up again. Really using the abdominal muscles, and the back strength. So, and the back strength to pull you back up, and the glute strength. So down we go again, just for a half one. So we can make our way down to the mat. Bending the knees and coming over to a semi-supine position. So that's going to be down onto our back. And we're going to bring our feet so they are in a good, comfortable A shape. 10 toes facing away from us, knees in line with our hips. And we're interlinking our hands behind our head. Rib cage is down. Pelvis is in that neutral position, so tailbone pointing towards the heels, not up or down. And then without pulling on the head, we're going to exhale and just curl our head and shoulders off the mat slightly. It's building some strength and some stability into the abdominals, into the core, getting the breath working, keeping the head nice and long. So you're extending through crown of head as you come up, and inhale to come down. We've got another 4. That's it, really nice and long through the spine. And 3. And 2, so 1 breath per movement. Breathing out as you come up, and this will be your last one. Into hundreds. Okay, so we're going to take the hands down to the side, and I'm going to start by adding on. If you know your 100, you'll go into your own 100 version. So I'm going to pump my hands down by my side, and then if I want to add on a bit more, I'm going to curl up. If I want to add on a little bit more, I'm going to bring one leg up and changing legs, or bring the other leg up with it. And we're going to breathe in, 2, 3, 4, 5, and out, 2, 3, 4, 5. So using this 100 to set our core, get our breath, get our blood pumping around our body, warming everything here. So in, 2, 3, 4, 5. In, 2, 3, 4. Can you reach a little bit further? Probably got about another 10 more. And then hugging those knees into your chest. Give yourself a good stretch round onto the mat. And you should be nice and warm. Express warm up. Bringing the feet down to the floor. And broadening your collarbones, neck nice and long. We inhale to prepare. As we exhale, we'll lift the hips and drive the hips up to the ceiling, pulling our rib cage in. We're going to squeeze our glutes, tuck our tailbone, and then sending those hips down to the mat again, keeping the control from side to side. So we're inhale to prepare, exhale. Thinking about drawing the heels into the bottom, sending the knees away, and almost trying to keep the breastbone down here. So where your bra strap area is, we're going to try and maintain that stays on the mat. So we have another 6. Inhale to prepare, exhale, pushing up, tailbone sending up towards the knees. Really broaden those collarbones, but keep nice and tight. Making sure we're not wobbling and rocking from side to side. And also we have that spirit level across our hips here. So we're totally even from side to side. Trying to maintain that rib cage doesn't arch up. So we want to avoid that belly sort of pushing up to the ceiling, because that's going to take our spine into an unnatural position. So we always want our neutral spine. And we've got one more. So exhale every time you lift. And hugging your knees into your chest again. Just for a moment, taking that relief away from the back. Roll yourself up, take your hands behind you. This may not work for everybody, so you might need to turn your fingers away. If you can, fingers will be facing towards you. You're going to push your breastbone up to the ceiling and shuffle your feet a little bit further away. The 10 toes are facing the front. And then from there, we're going to think about lifting the hips again. So we're inhale to prepare. We're going to really push through the arms, squeeze the glutes before you even try and lift, and hover the bottom off the floor. Maybe it lifts, maybe it doesn't. If it doesn't, you're going to keep working on that lift. If it's really uncomfortable through your wrists, change them, or just come down and do those bridges again that we've just done. If you feel comfortable, you will lift up higher into that shoulder bridge. So watch that head. We want to look down towards the knees here all the time, keeping strong. So it'll be exhale up, pull the heels in towards the bottom, inhale down. Okay, exhaling up, squeezing the bottom, really working through the back body here. and down. Okay, I'm going to add on by taking my legs longer. So we're into the full shoulder bridge or reverse plank. And so I'm going to take my legs long, so stick with what you want or do this one with me. And then lifting up, sending the tailbone down and away from you, bottom down. Okay, so exhale. Keep looking down towards the toes. Inhale down, 2 more. Inhale down, and last one. Really working on that back strength. Bottom down, bringing your knees into your chest. Actually, no, we'll go straight over into 4-point tabletop, and we'll find a cat position instead. So arching through the spine, pulling the tummy up, tucking the head, and stretching out through the back body there, opening everything up. Now, I'd like you to sink the shoulder blades down and push them up. So sink them down, push them up. So what we're trying to do is make a valley between the shoulder blades, and then we're trying to get rid of the valley. So we're squeezing them together as we push the shoulders up to the ceiling, and then we'll push the shoulders down to the mat and open the shoulder blades, getting that control of our scapula and our upper back, really waking up those upper back muscles. So squeezing them in, almost like you're trying to pull the shoulder blades down into your jeans pocket. Last one. Pushing heavily through the mat as you open up those shoulders. And then we'll find a prone position. So laying all the way down on your front. Taking the arms out to the side. So elbows are in line with my shoulders. I'm going to push the tops of the feet onto the mat, just organize my lower body so I'm strong. Elbows out to the side. And then I'm just going to hover my wrists and hover my elbows. Now, if this is really uncomfortable for you and you can't keep that core nice and tight, then keep them touching the mat. We're going to hover. Your job is to try and keep your wrists in line with your elbows. And then as you exhale, going to reach those hands up over your head and inhale to bring them back down. Try and hover. Your head can be either touching the mat or it can hover too. Now, try and imagine that you have a drawing pin underneath your belly button. So you're really lifting up, your core's engaged, you're lengthening those legs away from you all the time. And it's as though you're reaching for something that's on a high shelf. And then as you exhale, you're pulling something down, pulling it down, almost like you're pulling a big elastic band apart, working on that upper back, but thinking about how the low back is also having to stabilize you, but really make sure that your core's nice and tight. It shouldn't feel uncomfortable. Then last one, take the hands down and just push yourself back. We're going to find a rest position to take your spine the opposite way. Take any tension away from the low back there. Yeah, pushing the tailbone towards the bottom. Then rolling forwards again. This time, we take the arms down by our sides, forehead to mat, or on rolled up pillow or a thin block. Take the hands down. So remember we did that 100. This time we're thinking about dart, so almost like 100, but upside down. Then we lift. We reach the hands down and away from us as though we're an arrow flying through the air. You can have the head and shoulders down if it's more comfortable. Reach the fingers towards the toes and then lift and lower the arms. Try and think about that movement coming from the arms rather than the shoulders shrugging up. So really long through the neck. Keep that core nice and tight. Glutes are squeezed. So tops of feet down into the mat. Feel that upper back really working. Okay, so exhale as you lift. Good stuff. Last two and last one. Take the hands down by the side. This time, straddle the legs. So straddle the legs and come into external rotation with the legs. So we're looking for the knees to be turning out. We're going to point the toes, cradle the hands. So palm on palm, let the forehead come down and imagine that someone's pulling onto your feet. So you're going to push into the back of your knee creases and you're going to squeeze your bottom to try and push your hips down into the mat as you pull your tummy in, and maybe your feet lift off the mat. Feel that big glute squeeze. Lengthen the spine, pull the tummy in, and see if those legs will just lift a very tiny bit. Going to use your core control here, okay, to keep that low back protected, but we are working the low back and the glute area. So really thinking about how it's responding, but keeping everything tight. So exhale, drawing up through that pelvic floor. Remember, the legs don't have to lift high. We're thinking about where we can feel it. So right into the glutes, into the back. And last couple. Bringing the legs down, back together. Taking the hands now overhead. So give yourself a full body stretch. Take a moment for child's pose if you need to round that back. Lengthen the arms, lengthen the legs. Then we go into our swimming. So long legs, long arms. And just for now, we're just going to lift one leg and then the other leg and see how that pelvis responds to that. So if you can keep that control and you can push into the back of the knee crease. If you can, we'll lift the opposite arm. Reach and come down and reach and come down. So working on that sling across the body as we reach and reach. And exhale, pulling away. Inhale to come down. Keep going. Change to just the arms or just one leg if you need to. And if you want to add on a little bit more, see if you can hollow into that dish and then do the same thing. So you were lifting up from both ends. Couple more. And then place your hands down. Take yourself all the way back into child's pose. Stretching those hands away. And taking one hand and threading it under. So threading it underneath. If this is too strong for knees, then stay high. Just threading through. Try and open up that upper back there. And same thing, other side, so stretching through and away. And then rolling onto our back for a quick glute release. So ankle onto the knee and bringing that foot in. So you can either keep the foot on the floor and take the knee out to the side, or we're going to hold on to the back of the thigh or hold on to the shin. Try and flex the foot. And then changing to the other side. So ankle onto the knee, bringing the foot in. Just getting that quick release there. Take some time to do a few more stretches. And release. and roll yourself all the way up. Some stretches you can do after this class are back into that child's pose. You can do some supine hip rolls, some cat-cows, and arching and stretching through the back, and also some nice side bends. Okay, so thank you very much, and I shall see you soon. Have fun.